What's up, guys? It's Bumpkins. Today is Sunday, July 17th. What? Sunday? That's a weird day to make a comic book haul video. I wasn't able to get to my LCS last week to get my books, so I went yesterday on Saturday. And as always, I went to Infinity Flux here in Chattanooga, Tennessee for another big old stack of books and a few extra goodies as well. Guys, real quick, if you're on the Whatnot app, be sure to check out Infinity Flux. They're at Infinity Flux Comics, all one word. They'll be linked in the description below. They just hit 1,000 followers. They had a fantastic celebration giveaway stream a few nights ago. They stream 3 times a week, have all kinds of cool stuff for sale. So if you are on the Whatnot app and are looking for a great seller to buy from, be sure to check them out. So let's jump into the book, starting with Marvel, starting with one I've been very, very excited for, Daredevil #1. So this is the start of a new Daredevil series, but still with the same creative team. Still Chip Zdarsky and Marco Checchetto on art, which is a winning team. I loved that first series of there, and this is the start of a new one. I went with the John Romita Jr. and Senior cover here. I thought this was really cool. So this takes place after Devil's Reign. This is Daredevil and Elektra. They have left New York to do something. I'm not real sure what. So this issue was good, but it suffered from what I refer to as, I guess, like the setup blues or whatever, right? It's a big setup for the story to come. I don't really know what the story is yet. It was a little bit confusing, and it seemed like there was a little bit of a time jump, like maybe Matt was talking maybe at a future date, and then we saw what was going on in the present. I'm not really sure, though. So I'm very, very interested to see where it goes, but I didn't quite understand everything that was going on. There was a really cool interaction here, though, between Daredevil and Spider-Man, which I really liked. Sort of Daredevil's last night in New York, and he told, well, I won't say too much, but, you know, he tells Spidey that he's leaving. And they had a really nice interaction. So this was really fun, and I can't wait for the series to really get going so that we can really get into the meat of the story. So I did get this cover, but I did what I tried to never do, and you're going to hear that again once more. I got the Spider-Man anniversary cover as well. So 2 covers for 1 book. I try not to do it, but I mean, come on, I can't pass that up. Next is Fantastic Four #45. So this is the end, or really more of an epilogue of the Reckoning War. This is Dan Slott's penultimate issue on the series. Next issue, #46, is his last one. And this was good. This really, I mean, really wrapped things up with a nice little bow. Put a period at the end of the Reckoning War, and it's all done. I won't say too much about what happens, but it was really cool to see. All the different things that happen, and should make for some interesting stories to come. I am going to hop off after next issue, when Dan Slott leaves. I'm going to hop off at that point, I think, and just wait for Marvel Unlimited. But it's been a fun ride. This has been a pretty interesting storyline, and the next issue looks like something cool is going to happen in that as well. Next up is Moon Knight #13. This one was pretty interesting. We're starting to delve into a lot with vampires now, which, I mean, vampires have been peppered throughout this book since the beginning of the series, but now they're leaning hard into that, and that's going to make for a really interesting story. There's a really good sequence with Taskmaster in this, talking about how he's just straight up scared of Moon Knight. How he has no problem going after Spider-Man or taking a shot at Daredevil or even Captain America, but that he's actually scared of Moon Knight. He even turns down a job to take out Moon Knight because he's so scared of him. That was a really cool scene, just talking about how sort of fierce and dangerous Moon Knight is. I really like that. So Moon Knight with vampires, maybe I was thinking it'd be cool to get Blade in there at some point. Moon Knight and Blade against some vampires sounds pretty cool, but there's no hint about that yet. That's just me thinking how cool that would be. The ending is really interesting. I'm excited to see what happens, and this continues to be a really good book. And last for Marvel, the only Marvel book that I didn't read yet is Spider-Man 2099 Exodus #4. So this features Black Widow 2099. I did get caught up on the series all the way up until this one, so it's just not really grabbing me. You know, I want to, not to speak disparagingly of any other 2099 characters, but I want to read Spider-Man 2099, and none of these books have been about that. So they've all been about these other 2099 characters. I don't know if they're going to try to build, start new books with all these characters, but I guess I just don't really care too much about the story right now, just because I want to read him, and we're not getting a lot of him. So maybe it's all going to come to a head in, I think, Exodus Omega, I think, which I just pre-ordered yesterday. I think the end of this storyline. But I'm going to keep buying them all, because they are cool characters, but I just want that guy. So as for DC, it was a really, really light DC week this week, only 2 books. And speaking of me doing things that I said I wasn't going to do, I guess I'm doing this now. This is a Dark Crisis Worlds Without a Justice League Superman. So this is a one-shot featuring Superman, I guess in his ideal world. So I guess we sort of more or less know that the Justice League aren't really dead in Dark Crisis. They are just sort of trapped, I guess is a decent term for it, but they're kind of trapped in their own perfect version of their own world, I guess. So they're not physically dead, but they're somewhere else, right? This is a really, heartwarming book and tugs at my dad's strings a little bit. Superman, his ideal life is him growing up with his son, and we see John going by Superboy in this from ages 13 through 18, and how they're going on adventures together and fighting crime together and monsters and space aliens and stuff. John's not perfect; he makes mistakes. Superman, does what dads do and gets onto his kid when he messes up. But yeah, it was a really special book. It was really good. Like I said, it's just a one shot, so it's just this book. There's a really nice Aquaman backup story with a really good art. Like, I like the art in that Aquaman backup story pretty well. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't planning on doing Dark Crisis, but I guess I am, and I guess I'm just going to go ahead and get all these tie-ins as well. But I really like this one. And then the only other one that I got from DC this week is Superman Son of Kal-El number 13. Yep, 13. This is the first appearance of Dreamer in the comics. The first appearance of Dreamer in proper DC continuity. I think she popped up in one of the Supergirl book, but Supergirl from the Arrowverse a few weeks back. So this is the first time we see Dreamer in the book in proper DC continuity, and it was pretty cool. She helps show John a vision of the future, which helps him sort of plan how to take down Bendix. That was pretty cool. Bendix is sort of turning up the heat and setting his sights on Jay instead of John, which is pretty interesting. So John's going to have to protect Jay. Yeah, this is still continuing the Rising storyline. Things are starting to ramp up, and this continues to be a fantastic book. I've got a few Image and other indie books as well, starting with one of my favorite books out from any publisher right now, 8 Billion Genies number 3. This book is phenomenal. I think at the beginning of this, we are now 8 days into everybody getting their own genie, and things are just crazy. The world has gone bonkers, and there's still just the one bar where nothing is affecting the bar negatively. There are some things, some results of wishes inside the bar, but so we learn a little bit more about the wishes and what happens when maybe somebody who makes a wish then passes on, or what happens to the wish after that. Just do really, really interesting stuff. This is a really unique book. Definitely haven't read a story like this before. I really, really like this. I think this is an 8-issue series, and what is this, number 3? Yeah, 3 of 8. Yeah. I wish this would just go on forever, but I do love how each issue is taking us. It was 8 seconds, 8 minutes, 8 hours. I think that, like I said, this is 8 days now. I can't wait to see what happens, 8 weeks, months, years. It's going to be crazy. Next is an interesting one. So this is Impact Winter. So it says number 1, but as far as I know, this is just a one-shot. When I finished reading it, I was like, I want more of this. And apparently, I didn't really know why, but so the Audible logo is on the back of this, and I wasn't really sure why. Apparently, it's a podcast, or not a podcast, but like an audio drama that you can listen to. And apparently, you can listen for free on Audible, so I'm going to have to do that. But the story was good. I really like the art in this too, but the story is interesting. Basically, this is post-apocalyptic. A comet hits Earth and sends the sky black, and it's kind of like the Van Helsing TV show that I've been watching while on the treadmill over the last few weeks. It isn't very good, or I don't think it's very good. But the sky goes dark, and there are vampires. Essentially, they're not really traditional vampires, or at least some of them aren't. But the survivors have to go out on supply runs, and they have to deal with these vampires and these creatures, like these little creatures right here. I think they're called blighters. I can't quite remember. But yeah, it's good. Like, when this was done, I wanted another comic. So it's cool that there's an audio drama, but I want more of this story and these characters. So I'm gonna have to go listen to that but I really want to like read more of it too because the art's really good. So I like this one. If you want just like a quick story, you know, vampires and whatnot, definitely check out Impact Winter. Next up is King Spawn number 12. You know, I'll say it every week. I haven't read any Spawn yet, so this is going to go in the Spawn stack. But yeah, I'm glad to have these for when I'm ready to catch up. So one that came out a couple weeks back, I think, that I thought that I missed because I wasn't able to get it at the time. So I bought it digitally and read it digitally and loved it. And now I'm glad that I have it in print, is Silver Coin number 11. This is another one of my favorites out right now. You know, after a shaky start, this has been a rock solid book since probably issue 5, I think. Anthology horror stories plural, and the only through line is this silver coin that when a person gets it, it more or less grants them a wish. I guess you could think it changes their life for the better, but at a price also. So I don't want to say too much because I think you should really read this. It's interesting, but there's a diner, right? And it's basically being run out of business by a McDonald's type restaurant that just opened up across the street. Nobody's coming to the diner anymore. The owner of the diner gets the coin and says that something about, you know, she wishes that, you know, tomorrow people would come hungry. And she comes in the next morning and there is a line out the door of people who are hungry. And, you know, so business is great, but all I'll say is the people who show up are really, really hungry. And that's all I'll say. This book is so good. I'm loving this series. You can pick up any single issue and read it at any point because there's no continuity. They're all separate stories with the only connecting tissue being the coin itself. I love this book and I loved this issue. So that was all for Image, but I've got one from Black Caravan, Behemoth number 1. I just finished reading this one right before this video, and I didn't personally love this. This is about a young girl who is kind of mutating into this monster, and she gets taken to this camp full of other people who have evolved into monsters. Some have evolved further than what she has. She's sort of losing control of herself. She's losing control of her human mind, becoming a little bit more bestial. And the people who have her in the camp tell her that if she becomes part of this Project Behemoth, which is she'll be trained for military operations and things like that, they will help slow her mutation and help her keep her human mind a little bit longer. It was fine, I guess, but I didn't love it. But, you know, if you're interested in that kind of thing, there's a lot of monsters and things like that in this. It seems to set up a pretty interesting story. I might get the trade, but just for right now, I didn't love it. And last of the new issues this week, one that I haven't read yet, but I'm very excited to. This is Barbaric: The Harvest Blades. This is from Vault. It's a one-shot, but it's related to the 3-issue Barbaric series that came out several months ago. I don't know what the story of this particular book is, but overall, Barbaric is about this barbarian who is cursed to do good. So he's a barbarian, right? He just wants to go out and maim and kill and drink and that kind of thing. But he was cursed to do good things, and he has this talking axe with him. And it's just a really fun story. Like I need to go back and read those first 3 issues again all at once to sort of jog my memory and then jump straight into this. There's even more of this coming out. I think on FOC this weekend is the first issue of a new Barbaric series. So I'm on board to get all these. I really like this story and I can't wait to jump into this one. I got a few books from the dollar bins this week as well. The first one is the Micronauts Annual number 1. So you guys know I've been loving finding the Micronauts series. I still haven't read any of these yet, but I love finding books that are not available either collected or digitally, that the only way you can read them is to actually get the books. So I've got a whole bunch of Micronauts issues because they're like that, and I'm really interested in sort of learning about them. I have Annual number 2, and now I've got Annual number 1, and yeah, I'm just going to stick this in with the rest of my Micronauts. Next one is Marvel Comics Presents number 1. I don't know what this is, but that is an awesome J. Scott Campbell cover. So I pretty much got it just for that, but it has Vanguard, Hellcat, Spider-Man, The Thing, and Weapon Omega. That sounds like a pretty good lineup, right? Now, I don't know if the rest of these characters appear in the book. I have no idea what this is or when it came out. It looks like it's, maybe 2015 or so. I'm not sure, maybe a little bit before that. But yeah, for $1, I'll buy that cover, yeah. And then kind of on a whim, I got some early 80s pre-crisis Flash comics. So I got Flash number 321 and Flash number 329. and Flash number 332. And I actually, spoiler alert, I actually won a few Flash books from my LCS's most recent Whatnot auction, so those will be coming in a couple days. I don't really know why. I've only got one other Flash book from that era, the last one, I think number 350. But these are just kind of cool. Like, I kind of like classic Flash. Yeah, so this, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll start trying to build. Obviously, I can't get a whole run of these. But these are kind of cool. Plus, these are like, look at that's just nostalgia right there. I mean, I love it. So yeah, I might do some follow-up videos to these. But the fun doesn't stop there. I got a couple cool extra goodies as well, starting with Primos Volume 1. So this is a trade paperback from AWA Upshot collecting, I think, is it 4 issues of the Primos series? I don't really know what the story is about, but I love the artwork in it, and it looks like there's a lot of fun action in this. So yeah, I've been aware of the single issues of this. I wanted to get the first one. I think I got the free comic book day version of this, which is just a reprint of the first one. But I've been interested in this from the get-go, but I wanted to wait for the trade, and here it is. And then last for the week was kind of an impulse buy, but I've heard good things, and it was sitting there. I just wanted to try it out. So this is Justice Society of America. This is Geoff Johns' run on JSA. I've heard a lot of good things, but I've never read it. I've never even read very much JSA at all from any era, from any writer at any time. But I'm aware of this series. I've heard good things, and I wanted to try it out. This collects JSA 1 through 15. So there's a good, good chunk of JSA in here. I probably shouldn't have gotten this and just gotten the omnibus instead but it's a little bit of a gamble, because if I like this, I'm going to want the omnibus, but then I'll be double dipping 15 issues. But then again, if I don't really like this, then I save the money from the omnibus, so I'm not real sure. So I just figured, like I said, it was sitting right there. I figured I'd go ahead and grab it since it was a little bit smaller of a week anyway. So yeah, if you've read this, let me know, did I make a good purchase? And that's it, guys. Another awesome haul for the week. I hate that it was much later than normal. I'm so sorry to deprive you guys of my wonderful and awesome haul videos on Wednesday. No, you probably appreciated the break. But yeah, we are all caught up now, and I'm ready for this coming week. So guys, I appreciate you watching this video. If you like this video or any of the other videos on my channel, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it a sarcastic thumbs up. And if nothing else, leave me a comment below and let me know what you picked up this week. Did you get any random impulse buys? Just let me know. I love comic books. I could talk about them with a room full of people or just to a camera. Guys, don't forget, comic books are supposed to be fun. They are just another fun form of storytelling. Good stories, good art. There is plenty of stuff out there for you to just look through it all, find something that you like, and then it's super easy to just disregard everything else that you don't like and let everybody else enjoy that stuff. Also, don't forget, it doesn't matter how much you buy each week or each month. What makes a great comic book haul is that the things that you do get are really special to you, really mean a lot to you. You get you really excited to read comic books. Whether it's 1 book, 10 books, 100 books, it does not matter how much you got, as long as what you did get is really special to you. So guys, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.